This is episode 39 of Cowboy Shit with Ted and Wacey, brought to you by Everything Cowboy.
Oh.
You know what really grinds my gears, Wacey?
What?
Stubbing my toe on shit.
That sucks.
Man, did you see this toe? It's like purple. Look at this. I kicked a box in the office yesterday. Look at how purple.
Were you
it is.
upset?
I was pissed. I kicked a box.
Why did you kick a box?
Because it was dark and I went to get something out of my office and there was a case on the floor.
Oh, it's like you unintentionally kicked the box.
Yeah, like I just stubbed my toe at an inappropriate time.
Oh.
And it really hurts wearing cowboy boots now.
Oh, yeah.
It's not ideal.
Stubbing a toe is not fun.
What's the worst thing that can happen like that you don't like? Like a household dangers. What are the worst household dangers?
When you get your belt loop caught on your door handle.
I get my pockets caught on the handles in the kitchen.
That's
often.
what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or sometimes I hit my head on the cabinet doors because they don't close all. Like they don't latch.
Me too.
They don't hit. They don't.
Especially the ones above.
Yeah, I hit my head on those.
The
all
stove.
The time. Oh man!
Yeah.
And I was walking down the stairs.
Did you crunch your melon off
Oh
there?
yeah, bad.
Really?
I don't know.
I thought you'd know by now. You've been a basement dweller for so long.
I know. I was just like, I wasn't. My mind was elsewhere, and I just like fucking whacked it, like, and it hurt. I was down in a heap.
Oh man.
Yeah, it wasn't a good time.
Brutal.
It was not a good time.
That is brutal. So stubbing toes, hitting your head on stuff. I hit my head on the tree out
Have you
front,
fell in the shower
3 times?
before?
I haven't, but I've heard people dying doing that.
Oh,
so
you can
hopefully I
die for
don't.
sure. Yeah, it's legit.
I was thinking about that today. There's so many ways people can die. It's just like
Yeah,
like you're on like a motorcycle and you just hit some rocks and just bam, dead.
you can die walking across the street,
Right?
struck by lightning, dead.
Right? Jeez.
Get attacked by some city rabbit, dead.
There are some rabbits.
rabies.
They're brown in the summertime and they're white in the winter. They're camouflaged.
Whoa.
Apparently one lived in our garage all winter. I had no idea.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's what the neighbors
You didn't
told
know
us?
either, apparently.
I didn't see no stinking rabbits. As long as they don't get in my hockey bag, I don't care.
Well, they probably were. He probably pooped all over it.
No, I would have known.
You would have known? That's fair.
That would have been hell.
Well, it's not summer yet. It's what is
We're
it?
getting a taste of summer though.
Just a smidge.
Like,
just a smidge of
Just
summer.
like they're teasing us. It's like,
Yeah.
here's a little bit.
It's like,
Here's
hey.
what's coming.
Just kidding. It's gonna snow again.
Boom, snow. 3 feet of snow. Oh.
There's a good song called Alberta May. It's by Alan Christie.
Mm-hmm.
It goes like, Alberta May, make up your mind. It's either cold as hell or warm sunshine. It's been a long, cold winter, but you could put the chill away, Alberta May.
That's legit though.
Right?
Like, I've never heard, like, that's like the perfect way to describe May in Alberta. Especially May in Calgary.
It's cold as hell or warm sunshine.
Yeah, literally though.
It's true.
Yeah, like a week ago, or when we got back from Brooks, it was like minus.
When we got
3.
stuck in Brooks, it was cold as
Yeah.
shit, and there was a full on shit.
I guess that was April, but still.
Yeah, but that was only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So like, I don't get it. I don't like it. But it is May long weekend, so
So
I was talking.
Chances are it's gonna rain.
I was talking to Preston about it too. Like,
Yep.
when is the last time there's been a nice May long?
I don't know. Probably last year. We just didn't realize it.
No,
I don't know.
it was rainy and terrible.
You sure?
Yeah, I cannot remember a May long that it's been nice weather.
Well, you're going to a wedding anyways.
I know, but I'm just like,
You're gonna be
I'm
inside.
thinking back to even when I was growing up.
They
Like,
might take the photo. Well, that's a biased thing though. That's horse shit.
but I mean, it's biased. How is it
Well,
horseshit?
because you're like, oh, it's painting May long with a bad picture. Like sometimes it's good.
I can't remember one.
I had a good May long in Cloverdale once.
Okay, that's
Just like
province
one
away.
time. Yeah. Still,
One
I've
time.
had good ones.
One time.
Yeah.
Maybe another time.
Maybe like twice.
I remember getting out on high school rodeo when it was fucking snowing May long weekend.
May long.
So
I think this is Memorial Day in America, isn't it? The 24th of May.
don't
I'm pretty
know.
sure that it's Memorial Day. Like, and it's like a big like good time in America because it's warm.
But May
It's,
long,
like,
May
actually
long,
sunny
like
by then.
even like for the booze industry in Canada, this is their big like summer kickoff.
Really?
This is a huge weekend for the booze industry.
This is the time to
Yeah.
kick off the new
Because
Bud
it's
Light
the
line.
first long weekend of the spring summer thing, right?
Well, you kind of got into a bit of one this last week with at the house at Preston's house. You guys got on the swish a little bit.
yeah, we had a
it was
Saturday.
pretty warm.
It was 23 degrees.
Yeah, see, it wasn't May long, but it was still you had a good weekend. It's like it still works.
I
Right?
never said May in general. I just said May long, dude.
Well, yeah.
Stop it! You're attacking me.
Okay, whatever.
I haven't had great experiences with May long, so I'm sorry.
Wait, so you had a bad experience.
Remember
one
we
time
went
and
to
it's-
we went
it's
no, it
bruised
wasn't
and-
one time.
It's bruised his
Man, remember we went to
feelings.
Kyle and it was freaking the coldest day.
It wasn't that bad. It was actually
Okay.
better the day before, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like 20 degrees and it was cold and rainy and like there was 3 people watching.
And our speakers blew over in the wind.
Yeah, so another terrible May long.
Yeah. Well, but we had a good trip though.
I almost died on my way home one time from a high school rodeo in Weyburn because it was shitty rain on May long.
What happened?
I hydroplaned.
Well, you shouldn't drive so fast. Shouldn't drive like an asshole.
I don't drive like an asshole.
Apparently you did then.
You drive way faster than I drive.
Well, I got places to go.
So who's the asshole here? Who's the asshole now?
The fucking guy in the slow lane, in the fast lane that's going slower than I am. That's who's the asshole.
But if he's going to speed, yeah, you're not wrong. Because I feel the same way.
The guy today on Highway 2 that had a boat behind him, and he was mad that we passed him in the fast lane, and he got back in the fast lane. There was nobody in the slow lane, but he apparently wanted to drive in the fast lane with a boat behind him. It was weird.
Was it windy?
No, it was not windy at all.
Weird. Maybe it was a new boat.
I don't know.
Maybe he's just happy because he had a new boat.
I saw Woody today. That was cool.
You did? Where'd you see him?
I did. We saw him at the boat store.
Why'd you guys go to the boat store? Or Don's boat
Don
guy?
needed a boat thing.
Yeah, he's a salesman.
He needed an
there.
RV thing. Yeah, it was good. So shout out to Woody.
Woody, our boy.
Yep.
Little redheaded assassin.
We got to get to some stuff here. So it's like we're in the middle of the Monster Energy tour right now. By the time this is out, we'll be heading for Moncton, New Brunswick, Halifax the next week. We're going to be in Grand Prairie, Wildwood. The bandits are taking over. We've got all sorts of places.
Couple
here.
weeks of balls to the wall, eh?
Yeah, and then like Moose Jaw, Rocky Mountain House. Got to go to Winnipeg for Canada West Boots. We're gonna be running pretty fast. We're gonna be going pretty fast.
Yeah, you got
It's gonna be good.
lot going on.
But hey, Monday this week we sat down with Scott Hardy, Western Silversmith, part of the Traditional
really cool.
Cowboys Arts Association.
Yeah.
Traditional Cowboy Arts Association. Scott invited us into his shop, and we hung out there for a whole morning. Basically, did a podcast with him. Had a lot of fun.
Got to see some cool stuff.
Yeah, how about that?
It's amazing. It's amazing to think that some of the stuff that they've made, or people like that make with their hands. It's cool. Even like leatherwork, really nice
And it's
leatherwork.
machines too, but it's quite incredible.
But still, like, yeah, they can do that with mostly just
With
them.
their hands. Yeah. Scott, though, I knew who he was, but I'd never really met him, and his work is way up here where I can't afford it because it's so expensive and fancy, and he's an artist and at the highest level. But Storm got me this pocket watch for Christmas, and she got it engraved by Scott, so we got to go meet him.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, she talked to him, and she's like, "You got to meet this guy." Because Scott gave us this book. It's called Cowboy Renaissance. It's the story of the TCAA and shows a bunch of their different work, bunch of their different pieces. So we went down there, and then he and I bullshit for like an hour of the time that we went down. And then he emailed me or texted me later on. He's like, "Hey, love to be out to visit with you on the podcast and, talk about the TCAA and kind of get the word out on what they're doing and talk about, share some stories." So that's what we did earlier this week. And that's the podcast for this week. So we hope you enjoy.
You're listening to episode 39 of Cowboy Shit with Ted and Wacey.
We're here in Longview, Alberta today, well, a little northeast of Longview at Scott Hardy's shop here. Scott's a Western silversmith and one of the best in the entire world. Scott, we're in your shop right now. We pushed a couple things aside and we're set up and doing the show today, but there's an amazing buckle across the way from me right now here. I guess, is this a 4-piece or is this a 3-piece buckle set?
Well, they call it a 3-piece, but there's actually 4 pieces.
Yeah, because you got 2 sliders there.
2 center slides.
Center slides, yeah.
in the
2
center.
keepers, yeah. It's a silver buckles. And I don't even know how to describe it. Wacey, can you help me here? What are we working with? We've got an overlay. It's completely engraved, but it's an overlaid silver with different flowers, and the petals are wrapping around, and it's actually like a 3D buckle. I'm bad at this.
You're doing a good job.
Yeah?
You're doing a lot better than I would describe
Am I painting a picture right now? Because
You're Picasso painting
Picasso.
a picture.
Yeah, 2 slider pieces, and it's on a thin belt too, which is a really nice belt as well. It looks like one of your friends built that too,
Yeah,
Scott.
custom buckle belt,
Yeah. You made the belt?
No, hell no.
A friend of yours built. Probably another. Yeah.
Felix Enders.
Okay. So, Scott, let's get started here today. I want to visit about the TCAA, the Traditional Cowboy Arts Association. Give us a bit of a background on that and how it became to be. You're one of the founding members.
Yeah, a founding member. We actually, when I went to start, to roll it right back, when I went to start as a silversmith, there was nobody that would teach you. There was nobody would let you in their shops. And saddle makers worked the same way. Actually, if you went to a saddle maker's shop, he'd cover his work up. So we saw the trades were dying and that production work was taking over, and people, it was all lack of knowledge, the reason it was dying. And young guys starting out had no place to go. So a group of us came together that represented, at that point, we were supposedly the top of the field in bit and spur making, silversmithing, saddle making, and rawhide braiding. We got together to basically teach or form a teaching group that would perpetuate the trades. We call them the traditional cowboy trade. So the 4 disciplines got together, the masters of the 4 disciplines, to see how we could do this, how we could perpetuate the trades.
Yeah.
Keep them alive, and realized then that technology and production, you couldn't fight that. So where we had to go with this was to take it to a level that had never been taken before, so that it actually crossed the boundaries into art. So we just celebrated our 20th anniversary last October. We've had 20 shows at the National Cowboy Museum. We started a whole education program to go along with that, where we've raised on our own and given out over $500,000 to teach other people.
That's
the
incredible.
4 different trades. Yeah. It's evolved over the years. We started out giving $500 scholarships, I guess you'd call them, just so guys could come to workshops and
Yeah.
on and on like that. And it's evolved to now we give 2 fellowships a year, and they're each worth $12,000.
Oh, wow.
And then we give a special scholarship for somebody that's just about at that level that they'd be a master, or that they've shown enough dedication that we know they will be eventually. And that can be up to $5,000. And we'll bring
wow.
them in. I had a guy last year from Oklahoma come spend a week with me, and then he went and spent a week with another silversmith.
Okay.
So it's ways like that to keep it alive. But we understood right in the beginning the best way to do this was by doing. So the show was brought together in Oklahoma with the specific purpose of taking our work further than had ever been taken before in each discipline. And every year you have to bring something new, 3 of your best pieces. And you have to be there to meet the public, be there to talk about your piece. And of course they're for sale, but it's a place for craftsmen to come and learn.
And the show this year is October 4th and 5th in Oklahoma City.
Yep, National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum.
And tell me about the show a little bit. Can anybody come to the event? Or
Yeah, anybody can come to the event. It's a lot of fun. Actually, it's Friday, Saturday is the openings. So on Friday, we'll have a preview Friday night.
Okay.
And the artists are there hanging around all weekend and visiting with people. We do it. The reception is fun. It's kind of hors d'oeuvres and drinks, and then they open the gallery and go in there. Saturday, there's events all day. They call it, sounds ridiculous, but an autograph session in the morning.
Okay.
Because they produce a catalog for it every year.
Yeah.
So it's there for the people to come and get the craftsmen to sign the catalogs. And then there's a roundtable discussion in the afternoon and demonstrations. And then at 5 o'clock, it's called a hard opening. It's all black tie. That's when people are actually let in the gallery. And it's an interesting event because there's ballot boxes in front of each piece. So at 5 o'clock, they blow a horn. People can come in there. And if they see a piece they want, they put a ducat in the box. So you can get 2 or 3 or 4 people putting in on the same piece.
The prices are already on the pieces.
Prices are on. Yeah, they're fixed prices.
They know what they're paying for. And that's part of what you guys built this on, is that these are the prices, and you guys went out on a limb to even do this in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because there's a piece on your desk here that's a $50,000 piece that you went to collect actually last week.
Yeah. Well, the pricing situation, there was a lot of craftsmen over the years that were running into a lot of trouble because they would price a piece honestly, time and material. And then if it didn't sell right away, they were so hungry that they would start dropping the price. So what that does is it devalues the whole market. So instead of, let's say, a $2,500 saddle, if somebody buys it for $2,100, then the next guy doesn't want to pay $25 for it. So it turned things from full-time craftsmen into part-time craftsmen because they were losing money on it.
They had to go that way.
Yeah, and that kills the industry.
So, but this way at your event in Oklahoma City, and it's been there in the history of its time, correct?
Right.
So multiple people can put their name in on these pieces, but it ends up being a draw at the end of the night. At the end of the night,
they just open the box, stir it around, and pull 3 names out.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. So the first one has 15 minutes to accept or reject. And the reason they do that is because...
might have multiple pieces.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if they accept, it's sold. If not, it goes to number 2.
Yeah.
And the same procedure.
Okay.
Yeah. And then anything not sold that night is just up for sale after that for the next 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then how did this piece come back here that was at the event last year?
Well, it was one of the poor little guys that didn't get sold.
Didn't get sold, yeah. But so this is a $50,000 piece. How much time and money are you out on that piece? What's your material cost in that?
Oh, my God. I've got well over 400 hours in it. And material costs?
Yeah.
Be about 10 to 15,000.
And 400 hours, like for people that work a normal job, what is that? That's like
a lot of hours.
10 weeks of work.
Yeah.
Right? But you're here more than 40 hours a week. You're here all day, every day.
All day, every day, 7 days a week. Unless I've got something to do, then I'll...
This is also something to do, but you mean...
It is.
But you mean something away from
not
something
work.
different to do.
Yeah. Because, Wacey said something that's not work. This isn't work to you for the most part,
No,
is
it's
it?
not really work. What you're really doing is a problem solver. silver. So when you start, like we were talking about the vase earlier, or the $50,000 decanter, as you go through it, you have to figure out ways to create it as you go. I mean, I have never built one before. I've built decanters and flasks, nothing like that.
Nothing like this. And so we got to describe this one too. So it's a round decanter you said it'll hold 28 ounces.
28 ounces.
So it's round. It has a really small, like what would it say? About your hand kind of, it's this side over here, Wacey. You see
It's like 4 inches, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
4 or 5 inches.
Yeah, 5 inches across. And then it had a gusset in it that's 2 inches, so you get the volume. And then the spout on the top.
Another 6-inch spout on it.
Yeah.
With a lid. You showed us a flask from England in the 1800s. It was made in the 1800s. And it's totally metal. It has a bit of cork on the inside of the lid. But it's just a simple twist lid with 2 little slats and 2 little bumps on the outside, and it'll twist on.
Yeah, it's a friction fit. So it's not like threads. So it slides into a slot, and then as you turn it, the slot narrows, and it sucks the lid down. So it's different, and
it's amazing.
It's fun to build different shit like that. So it's fun to build threads too.
Yeah, but not as fun as this.
Not like that.
Yeah,
no.
Getting into pieces that are at that $50,000 value, and you've made stuff that's worth far more than that.
Yeah,
you're in like you said, this is a traditional cowboy arts association, and you guys are transcending the cowboy functional pieces of work to an art piece now. Has that art side been recognized by the art world very much?
It's starting to. It's been a long road. I mean, first they had to accept the quality. Everybody's used to production stuff, or, I'm not going to say low-grade quality, but
it is.
A lot of the stuff out there is
not the same.
Not the top quality. So our whole thing is, if you can build something like that decanter, then you can build conchos or buckles or anything else, and it makes it. And I still build, my mainstay is buckles, mainly 3-piece sets, stuff like that. I don't do trophy buckles anymore, hardly.
No, but the pieces you're building now are a couple pieces that I actually got to see a couple months ago at the Stampede's tarp auction. But David Sibbald wears one. It's the buckle he got for being the president of the Stampede. Another one was Dana Pierce, the incoming president too. You've made both of those buckles and numerous other ones.
I did Bob Thompson's buckle.
Yeah,
he's the first guy that came out and ordered that. And for me, guys like that dedicate so much to the West, that's what I really like to do. I mean, they're cool guys, and when you see the time they put into the Stampede, and people think it's a glory deal.
Not at all.
I mean, no, it's not at all.
It costs them a lot of money.
It costs them a lot of money, and they work like hell in it. It's about the culture of the West, I spent a lot of time when I did any of their 3 buckles, it's trying to figure them out and what they're about so that I can put that into their work. If you look at Dave's buckle, the bucking horse on Dave's buckle, on his hip has their ranch brand on it.
Oh, really?
His grandpa's ranch brand.
But they don't really raise bucking horses, but it's a cool thing.
Well, it's an old-time bucking horse with an old-time cowboy on it. More of a ranch.
It's more the thought that they had to ride the buck out of those horses back at that time so they could even be a ranch horse, right? They had to break them. Going back to the original origins of our sport, really.
Exactly. Well, absolutely, it goes back. And the evolution of a belt buckle is kind of a fun deal too when you look at it that way. I mean, they used to wear just a normal little horseshoe buckle, those guys, and they would wear a big belt around a kidney belt, basically, to ride broncs in. The bronc stompers, they called them at that time. And when they originally started doing events, they started putting a little silver plaque on the back of those big belts. I mean, the belts were like 6 inches wide. And in the center, they were tiny little thing that would say where the ranch rodeo was and what it was. And then it evolved coming around to the front, you know, when guys quit. And if you look at the original 1912 buckles, trophy buckles for the Calgary Stampede, they were an inch wide.
Oh, wow.
By about an inch and a half long. And Burke's Canada built them. And they were all gold.
Like Burke's, like
the jewelry store.
Really?
Yeah, they built, and it just had a simple little bucking horse on there and a rope edge. The rope was like a lariat, and it just said Calgary Stampede 1912 and whatever event they were in.
And have you seen any of those in person before?
Yeah. I went to Glenbow, and I was there on other business and was in their archives and saw those buckles, and it just never left me. And then years later, a guy brought one into me in my shop to have his dad's name engraved in the back of it. So I got to have it for a few days. So then when 2010, the Calgary Stampede approached me about building buckles, a special edition buckle for their 100th anniversary. So I based it off those original 1912 buckles. Of course, they were bigger. I did 2 styles, a suit style and then as they call it, rodeo style. They were the same buckle with the same type of edge on it. And Yeah.
That's kind of unheard of to have a buckle that would be an inch wide at this point. Like that would basically be the tip of this 3-piece.
Yeah, exactly.
That'd be the whole trophy buckle at the
But
time.
guys used to just wear a 1-inch belt.
Oh, okay. So it made sense
Just
then.
basically something to hold their pants up,
Yeah.
Huh. So
Nowadays, you can eat dinner off some buckles I've seen.
Yeah.
yeah,
They're big
they can
thing.
get a little.
Yeah.
It's like anything in fashion, right?
Yeah, literally.
They start little and then go to an extreme and then come back. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
But let's talk about this book a bit too. That wasn't there earlier. Did you bring that out for a study piece, or did I not see it earlier?
The book?
Yeah.
I just brought it out to remind you.
Yeah. Well, it's been on our coffee table, and I've been through it a few times now, and reading all the different stories and the creation of the organization, and the pieces in here are amazing. Like
Yeah, well, again, like I said, the mantra for that show is to create something you've never built before and push the limits of your trade. So think about that. So somebody approaches you and says, we're going to do a show next year and we want you to do the best piece you've ever done. You say, okay. And then they come back to you the next year and say, we want you to do the best piece you've ever done. And then for me and 3 other guys, we've done that for 20 years. So it elevates the craft. It elevates the trade. And,
Yeah.
you're always searching for new inspirations. You're always searching for places to take it. So
wow, I couldn't imagine that even in what we do. Like I get challenged a bit with our top tour events now, and I shouldn't say a bit. I get challenged different times. I had to work with 2 French announcers a couple of weeks ago, which was very challenging to try and decipher a whole different language to work with, right?
Yeah.
To fit the music into a different. And I didn't have to play French music the entire time, but to decipher what they're saying, that would be one of the biggest challenges I would face all year compared to a new venue where I have to bring new sound different times. But I mean, yeah, that's
But it's like anything you do too, though. You want to bring your best every time.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
for you, it's like you gotta
Elevate your
build,
entire craft.
Yeah, it's something that
Yeah.
you've never done before. It's
Well-
got to keep it interesting that way.
it is interesting. And basically, if you go back to it, it fits right into our culture, right?
very true.
So when they came out here, just think of it. My great-great-grandfather came out. He was 17 years old. He was alone, homesteaded in Saskatchewan. There was no guarantees. There was no plan on how to do it. It was you tried to be better every day. You tried to think. So
Had
this
to.
is for me. So there's different type of people out there, right? There's some people that like to fit a mold and just go to work in the morning, get their paycheck,
Yeah.
and come home and have their weekend. And I was never one of them. Like anybody that rodeos isn't one of them.
No,
you know?
exactly.
So you try different things and you end up where you end up, you know? And for me, if I had to, it was like trophy buckles. I built a lot of trophy buckles starting out.
And you built spurs too for Don. Don
yeah.
told me about the spur making
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, Don. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he regrets that. But whatever.
Yeah, but
Because I didn't want to build him, so I was
Yeah.
always late and he was always phoning.
that was the Johansson brothers. They had their bull riding gear.
Yeah.
And the gear bags and different things. Don even told me they sold gear bags to the Calgary Flames in the beginning.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the
It
bags
was
they sold stuff for
crazy.
the Flames. Like they did a whole bunch of business. But Scott
I
built
remember
all the
I
spurs.
remember all the stuff they have. Never
Yeah.
seen.
Yeah.
I don't never
They
seen any of the
had
Spurs,
ropes
but
and everything.
Yeah.
Well, they were buying Blackwood spurs out of the States, Bob
Yeah.
Blackwood, and then it wasn't a reliable source for them. So
Yeah.
then they came to me, and I was way more unreliable than he was.
Oh, geez. I want to talk. When Storm was first here, she brought you the pocket watch.
Yeah.
And she had mentioned that you had work in the Smithsonian Museum. Is that right?
We went down there years ago, 2006.
yeah.
The Alberta government and the Smithsonian put on a show.
Okay.
They came and picked artists and craftsmen and fly fishermen and all kinds of different things to go down there and represent Alberta.
Yeah.
So we were down there for 2 weeks. It was a blast, man.
Oh, wow.
It was great.
That seems to me closer to traditional art and the real. I don't want to say the real art world or like the
mainstream art world.
Mainstream art world.
Mainstream fine art.
Is that the fine art? Is that kind of partially where that got to a little bit? Or?
Yeah, and even now, like you said earlier, we're not accepted as fine art, which is kind of bullshit, to be honest
Yeah,
with you.
because that piece there could sit in anywhere in the world. Like I could see that being in and even some of your pieces already. They're in Washington D.C. You were just in Fort Worth last week at a
they're all over the world. I got pieces all over the world, and the interesting thing is a painter or a sculptor, which basically to get good at this, you got to be both. You know, so when I start, like a painter starts with a drawing, a line drawing.
Yeah.
So do I. You know, ideas, and you refine it and you go through, and where they add paint, then I start working with materials. So they're mixing colors and I'm figuring out how to form metal by hand. And then the engraving is an accepted art form, has been for hundreds of years, really.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go to Holland or Purdy's or any of those fine shotgun makers, gun makers, I mean, people wait 6, 7, 8 years
Holy.
for their shotguns.
We're the people in the Western world are lucky that you haven't been accepted into that fine art world yet, because the prices are going to triple or go up by 10 times.
I don't think I'll be around long enough. It'd be nice to see. The problem we're having here is, and I go back to when I did trophy buckles, I was doing a buckle a day, and I was charging $100 for that buckle. This is in the early 80s.
Were you even making money at $100? Like, were you
it
making
was,
a living?
I mean, I was working 12, 18 hours a day to get
Make
that
one
done.
buck. And it's a piece today that would be worth $1,000 or more.
Oh, yeah. So I ran into a guy in the production business.
Yeah.
We had a coffee, and he said at the end, he said, I got to go. I've got 250 buckles to make this weekend. Production. And I said, well, if you don't mind me asking, how much? And he said 85 a piece. So he's building 250 in a weekend. I was building one a day. At that point, I decided I either had to get really good at what I did or go production. So the problem where I'm going with that is if the TCA, Traditional Cowboy Arts, doesn't elevate this to an art form where people want to collect it, if we can get that accomplished, then it gives all different levels for the craftsman to evolve into an artist and get there, a young guy. If we don't get that accomplished, then basically it turns into a real struggle for that to be there. And then it turns into part-time because they can't make enough money. And then the quality goes down and on and on and on. So that's the true meaning behind the TCA. That's what we're really trying to do.
I want to ask about this piece again here, the decanter.
Yep.
You take your pieces to Oklahoma City each fall. How many end up like this one where it hasn't been sold yet? You said sometimes it takes a year or two.
Yeah.
You don't have many of them that are still kicking around, right? Like there's probably is this the only one?
Yeah.
Right now?
This is it.
And it goes back to what you said about being a collector's piece.
Yep.
It's a matter of time before
Well,
the right
it's a matter of
person comes along.
time. It's the right person in the room, at the right time, and you never know when that'll happen. So you can't get excited about it. You can't, if it sells, you don't kick the floor and moan, and you want to, but you don't.
Scott, I want to talk with you about how you came into this business. There's a teapot out front. I want to hear the story on that.
Well, as a little kid growing up in Saskatchewan, I mean, we were always horses and cows, and I was a horse nut. All I ever wanted to be was a cowboy. And had a great grandmother from England. She had this teapot, and to kind of con us into spending time with her and that, she'd give us cigarettes and let us look in her her cupboard, and this teapot always caught my eye.
Yeah.
I could never believe that a man could build something like that. Her family had that built and brought it over. And that always stuck with me as the story of the West. When people came those great distances, they'd bring one or two things that really meant something to them. As I've always said, Hollywood always got it wrong. They showed people as ignorant and crude, and it's not the way they were. I mean, they brought those pieces out, and they wanted to have their flatware out for a Sunday dinner. They wanted things to be nice when they could have them nice. I mean, it was tough. They couldn't have it nice all the time. So I always thought I'd be a cowboy. That's how I came to Alberta. I went to work in the mountains, in the parks, and then met my wife out there. She was working at another outfit, and we decided we were going to buy land and ranch. Well, it takes money, and I started silversmithing kind of as a way to get that done. But after about 4 years of doing that, I just lost the urge to ranch, and just went deeper in there.
Where did you get your first set of tools? Like, tell us about the very beginnings that way.
Very beginning was so damn frustrating you wouldn't believe it. I took a little jewelry class in Calgary. 3 hours a night for 2 nights a week for 10 weeks.
Okay.
And they taught you how to make jewelry. Well, I wanted to make buckles and horse gear. And we use heavier materials for that. So the way they had me soldering and everything didn't work. So I had to just keep trying things till I found things that worked. And engraving, nobody taught engraving. Nobody would help you.
And like you said, that nobody would bring you in either in the Western world either.
No, they wouldn't. They wouldn't. I applied for a job at a production company at one point. And,
oh, really?
And I went in and did a little interview, and they said to me, what do you want to learn?
Yeah.
And I said everything. And I didn't get the job because they wanted to keep you pigeonholed in one place so you couldn't turn into competition. And that was one of the big impetuses behind TCAs because you couldn't, you'd see a picture here and you try and figure out how to do it. It took me 4 years to finally get one guy to say, I'll help you out.
Really? You began the TCA in a pretty early point in your career too.
17 years.
17 years in. Yeah. Okay, so not very early, but half now or less on the early side of it, I guess.
On the early side. I was blessed though because when I did finally start to get to see people, there was nobody. There was a saddle maker, Chuck Storms, that helped me. he lined me up with some guys in the U.S.
Yeah.
It took years to get their trust. But
Yeah.
once they understood how bad I wanted to learn, then they kind of just opened the door.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I want to talk about some of your favorite pieces you've made so far, or some of the highest dollar pieces, kind of thing like that. And then I want to go on and talk about some of the coolest customers you've had so far. Maybe some famous pieces that people might have seen somewhere, but maybe didn't know it was your work. I want to talk about that a little bit.
sure, man, I've enjoyed just about every piece I've created. And there's things I like building better than others, but I did a bridal set in collaboration with Carrie Schwartz and Wilson Capron.
Okay.
And I call it the story of the West. So on the headstall, all around it was brands from my family, Wilson's family, and Carrie's family. And we put a globe bit on it, which is like the traditional Texas grazing bit,
Okay.
split reins. So Alberta, Texas, there's so much continuity between our horsemanship and everything. That was, to me, that sold for $35,000 in the show, and it was an art collector that bought it. She bought it because of the story, because of the 9 brands that went around the whole thing. Yeah, it's a cool story, and it was a fun piece because it was so family connected.
And talk about some of the coolest customers. We were talking before, and you said some of your favorites are the folks that might not be in the Western world, but they appreciate it.
I've had so many great customers from down eastern U.S. mainly. One, he's a financial mogul in New York, and his family has been for years. And he just, as a kid, he was shipped off to guest ranches in Cody, Wyoming. And he just loves the West. I mean, he still works in New York, but he collects a lot of Western things, and he bought that guest ranch years later and turned it into a private retreat. And I've got other friends clients. I call my clients friends because
they are.
Yeah, you have to get to know them and enjoy them, and they have to enjoy you. And one guy, a man and his wife, and they're a riot, man. They're from Maryland.
Yeah,
and
then a lot of the stuff, pictures are in the book, right?
Yeah.
That's their place.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. He owns the largest music store in North America, but he's always wanted to be a cowboy.
Oh wow.
See, and for me, it's people like that love the West so much they just want to be a part of it.
Yeah.
Rather than feel entitled. This is where I'm from, and this is. Everybody else stay out.
That's kind of where I'm at. I just want to be a part of it too. You're speaking about brands, and I mean, my family on my dad's side, I got to ask my dad what our brand was, going back to what my namesake, like his father, who I'm named after, they ran cattle into North Dakota and southeast Saskatchewan and that kind of area. But I'm really curious to know, because I haven't seen it before, but I'm really curious now. I want to know the history there.
The West was always about new beginnings, right?
Yeah.
And it was about survival, and it was about moving things forward.
Yeah.
That's what people miss. I mean, when you look at a Westerner, you look at Western culture, what it really means is people came here with a hope and a dream, and they had to do whatever they could to survive and make that work. They weren't thinking of themselves. They always thought a generation ahead. They were always building for the future, not for today. And that's kind of what's missing in a lot of places right now. And the culture of the West is one of the most ignored cultures in the world, which is a shame. I mean, you go anywhere else in the world and you'd say cowboy, and they love it. But here, it's a little bit of
it's taboo some places.
In some places, it's taboo.
We're fucking outlawed in Vancouver. We can't even have a rodeo because we're cruel to animals. People don't have a damn clue.
Yeah, so they keep their little dogs in an apartment and get them so fat they can't move, but we're cruel, right?
Yeah, it's horse shit.
They don't get to walk.
They don't get to go outside. Yeah.
I mean, when I first came here, one of the first old ranchers I worked for, we were running cows up a chute processing one day, and one of the guys working was a little excited and was whacking on one of the cows. And he was told, touch him again and you're done.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You see a lot of those animals get treated better than people do.
Oh,
they do.
It's amazing. Like, especially like the stock contractors we work with. Like, they're fed before they even eat.
Yep.
They're in the best shape that they could ever be in. And
When I first came out and I was working hunting camps, you'd take them hunters out with the guide. You'd take them out, and when you came back in, you were cold, you were hungry and tired.
Yeah.
They all went in the house, and you stripped the horses, brushed them, fed them,
took care of
and
everything.
then you went in. That's the real story.
Yeah. All right. One of the questions we ask every single guest that we've had so far. Actually, I think we missed it a couple times by accident. Just Ron. I was too scared to ask. Ron McLean, I didn't want to offend him by asking what his definition of cowboy shit was. But we ask everybody, so I want to know what your definition of cowboy shit is.
Cowboy shit, man. I've been around it all my life, and it's a comfort to me. So cowboy shit, I mean, you got to be tough. You got to be gentle. You got to be determined. You got to know when to back up. That's cowboy shit. I mean, you just, when everybody else is backing up, you're walking ahead.
I like it. I want to say that what you do is it embodies cowboy shit. Like you're building cowboy shit. Really, it's kind of a negative term almost. Like I don't want to say that where you're building is that, but this is cowboy shit. This is so damn cool. Like you have cowboy stuff in the Smithsonian. Like that's the pinnacle of Western art. Like this is the most cowboy shit ever. It's so cool.
To me, again, it's cowboy shit is an idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's evolving always. There's no tradition. I mean, you build on tradition and you move into the future.
So the TCAA is what's the right word for like the museum or you guys create the definition of cowboy shit. That's what
I think so. And the guys in the group, they're stone cold. I mean, most of them have cowboyed or rodeoed for a living. I mean, we've got 2 ex-pro bull riders in the group.
I don't know what that word is that I'm trying to find. Could have been an eloquent ending there. Nice segue.
Words are hard.
I messed it up. Yeah.
It's Monday morning.
Now you're into
Monday
cowboy
morning.
shit.
Words are hard.
Eloquent endings. You just stop.
Yeah. So for more information on the TCA,
it's tcowboyarts.com.
tcowboyarts.com.
Yep.
tcowboyarts.com. Scott Hardy. ScottHardy.com.
Yep.
Check out Scott's work. He's on Instagram. If you guys, for all of the folks that are down with the Instagram, Scott's got a really cool page. You can see all of his work. Yep. See some of the stuff we've been talking about. You got to look at it to know what we've been talking about because I can't describe
worth checking out.
Yeah, you need
you
to
can't not check it out after listening to this.
Thank you.
Well, thanks a lot, Scott. This was awesome. We had a lot of fun this morning. So
thanks.
This is episode 39 of Cowboy Shit with Ted and Wacey, brought to you by Everything Cowboy.
Thanks again, Mr. Scott Hardy, for having us at his shop here earlier this week.
I have a question for you.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it, Scott. Thanks for the show. We got to talk about Scott first. You can do that later. What do you got?
It relates to Scott.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, I thought you were gonna just hijack the show, like you're gonna pull a Dustin Edwards and just.
Oh no.
Just go hijack the show.
No.
Steal everybody's girlfriends. Bam.
No, I wouldn't do that. No.
We're gonna leave that for Dustin.
Dustin's the girlfriend.
Should we get a new update?
We can.
Allie posted a heart about him on Facebook.
2 Instagram posts.
It was pretty.
They're
cute.
spending a lot of time together.
They're in love. Yeah, they're so in love.
So in love.
Yeah. Okay, what's your question?
So out of like the cowboy trades, like the leather work, silver work,
braiding.
like even rawhide braiding, saddle making, what would you want to do?
All of the above. No, actually,
that's cool.
Actually, though, leather work. I actually built myself a rigging bag one time. Did you see it?
No.
Downstairs, the leather gear bag.
That's yours?
I built that.
Haven't.
When I was in Vegas going to school there, I lived with Colin McTaggart for a while. He made NFR and lived in Vegas. Was originally from Oregon, but he did leather work, built chaps and everything. And I was going to build a pair of chaps, but I wasn't there long enough. But I built that gear bag. So I actually learned how to sew and do different things like that, and did a little bit of like basket stamping and did the really basic stuff.
Yeah.
Carving is completely an art form that
hard, yeah.
Oh my gosh. I can't even write good, let alone like friggin' draw stuff.
Yeah, I've hung out with Lane a few times. He's building chaps, and it's pretty amazing what those guys can do.
Yeah. So and I have leather tools downstairs that have been there for probably over a year.
Yeah.
But I haven't done anything with them yet. And I don't know when I will. My brother might end up using them, I guess. But I'd like to at some point. I just, it's another thing where you got to find somebody to teach you, where Colin taught me a little bit of the stuff and how it was. Like, you had to wet the stuff first, then you go and punch it. And like basket stamping is like one little stamp this big.
Yeah, it takes forever.
And it makes a whole pattern, right? So and then you got to line it up right so it doesn't get all friggin' jacked up. And
it's a skilled trade.
That's the easiest thing, basket stamping. And then like cutting leather, and it's hard. It's friggin' hard. Yeah. Let alone carving and like freehanding, making flowers and then all the accents on it and hooly. And then silk, like leather, once you do it, you really can't go back, right? Like it's done deal once you put the stamp in.
Oh, totally, yeah.
And then silver is even more so because
you have to start from square one if you fuck it up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to do. I do leather work too.
You would do leather work too?
Yeah, it's more up my alley, I would say. Rawhide braiding would be really cool too. Some of the stuff you can make with it.
I'd love to do the silver work too, but like
I couldn't get into it.
I wouldn't know where to. I mean, I guess I would talk to Scott first, but he probably would just. We could probably give this guy a shot, but like, how much time do I have to put into it too? I already got the other stuff on the go. Do I really want to start another thing? Right? I mean, I don't know. Want to say I'd like to, but I don't know if I really put the time into it either to give it justice.
Cool.
So you do leather?
I would. Yeah, I think it's the things you can do with it are really cool. Like the chaps, the buckles, or not the buckles. Yeah, you can build leather buckles, I guess.
Shaving kit.
Yeah, shaving kits, belts, carry bags. Like it's really cool. Yeah, really cool the stuff you can do with it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have another question for you.
Oh.
This is kind of moving forward.
Question time with Wacey.
So we're heading into our busy run, like the summer run.
Yeah, by the time you listen to this show, we're going to be giving her.
Yeah.
Just giving her.
So what event / place are you looking most forward to work at?
Well, one of the ones I was looking forward to the most was Quebec City. Going to Videotron.
You can't do that
in Quebec. I know it's already passed,
cheating.
but To one of the questions Scott asked, and it kind of stumped me a little bit, was what, about challenging ourselves. He didn't really ask it, but he kind of talked about it.
He posed the question.
And I thought, the one that I had that's most challenging would have been Quebec, working in a different language and, that way. But looking forward to it. I always look forward to the Calgary Stampede. Mm-hmm. But this year, the one I'm most jacked up about right now, I'd say, like, I'm excited to go to Grand Prairie for, and Rocky. Those are 2 new events. Going back to Moose Jaw, looking forward to that as well.
That's a sweet building out there.
Medicine Hat's going to be a cool bull riding, I think. Then you got High River. Airdrie's always fun. Clooney again. But another really cool one that I'm really jacked up about is Ranchman's.
Oh yeah,
I haven't got to do the music at that one yet, and I have really wanted to do that for a while. So,
is it going to be the same setup as last year with like you guys are running your sound off of the main stage?
I don't think there's a stage this year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's just bull riding, just straight up bull riding. Cool. So, hot song night number 1, Fat Bottom Girls.
There'll be a few of those in the stands.
Wacey may have met a few at the Ranchman's before.
Don't just pin me down, Chris.
So that's
everybody has.
That's Wacey's.
If anybody's been to the Ranchman
song.
No, it's not my theme song. It's a lie. These are lies. You're telling.
Besides,
you sit on a throne of lies,
baby,
man.
From courtesy of
stop
DJ
telling these people.
Dave.
Stop telling the people lies.
I'm not. I'm just. I saw some stuff there.
You have, really. That's another lie. This is a podcast of lies.
There's some line dancing.
We should call this lie time with Ted. How many lies can Ted tell in 8 minutes?
8 seconds. 46 and a half. Yeah, what are you looking forward to, Wace? What's your schedule for the
definitely
summer?
Calgary, especially now that I get to be involved for all 10 days.
Yeah, the Shoot Gate opener. Are you gonna get a buckle that says Shoot Gate Man? It says Gate Man.
I wouldn't wear it.
Are you gonna get some gloves with some fringe? Gate Man gloves?
Nope. I feel like that's something you would.
Are you gonna get a idiot string for your sunglasses so they don't fall off?
I have one. From when I went to
I don't know
Mexico.
what it's actually called. What is it actually called?
Idiot strings.
It's pretty.
But I would describe it. I feel like it's kind of cool though. I think those are.
I think
sweet.
they're cool too. I like mine.
Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, I'm probably not going to get any of those things, minus the idiot string. So those are cool.
How much are you selling your sponsorship for on my
hat
shirt stickers?
On my hat stickers?
Like a front of the hat
you know
sticker.
what?
How much?
You know what?
Because it's a lot of TV.
If you give me $1,000 for the week, I will wear a hat sticker on the front of my hat.
On the front of your hat?
Yeah, because I'm on TV. So
I'm not going to say that I'm going to give you $1,000, but someone listening to the show may give you
business
$1,000
opportunity
for that.
I will do it.
Yeah, he'll do it. And
there's
day one, Keenan will probably say, "What
you can't wear that.
Are you doing?" That's not allowed.
Free real estate, man.
Yeah,
my body's a billboard.
you could just get a pair of sunglasses that had Fig Newtons across the lenses.
This is extremely dangerous, but I love Fig Newtons.
Oh god,
I would do that too. And then I would get something on the back of my pants, like when they
like the Outriders used to have.
When
they had Ferris down the leg of their jeans.
Something, yeah.
Oh, Cody Floyd has a sponsor on his jeans.
Ole's
too.
Trading Post.
Yeah,
in Whitewood.
He has a jean sponsor.
Yeah, I'm open for business, people.
Wacey's gonna put a back of the jean sponsor. It's gonna say
across my butt.
It's gonna say sassy or something.
What's that brand that people love? Like it's just Supreme
menswear.
It's Supreme. It's just a brand, and they just put Supreme on stuff, and it sells for like thousands of dollars.
Wait, so let's get a hooey across his butt.
I do it. Hey hooey, hit me up. Open for business.
You're gonna have to wear clown pants so you can.
I'm gonna triple my income at the Stampede because of sponsors.
A gate man sponsor.
I get more TV time than anybody.
You do,
honestly.
I've been there.
Yeah, you know.
People, it's
10 days worth,
weird.
people.
Yeah. 10 days at the greatest outdoor show on earth.
And I'm on the truck wagons now too, so you could double down.
Dang.
$1,000 for the truck wagon, $1,000 for the rodeo.
A red shirt. So there you go.
As long as I wear the red shirt, the Stampede can't get mad at me because I'm wearing what I have to wear.
That's true.
It's my hat.
That's true.
Free real estate. It's a billboard. I just bought a new hat today too. I'll put it on there. I don't care. That's a good idea.
You're welcome. I just made you some.
I'm gonna have like a pitch meeting. I'm just gonna invite a bunch of people.
Here's the
Possibles investors. Maybe you.
Okay. What about music though? What are you jacking?
I'm looking forward to Manor.
Manor.
Yeah, because I've rode there before, so it's kind of be cool to be part of it. Manor and Kindersley's gonna be fun too.
Yeah.
So I get to work with Doug, and I love Doug.
Doug.
And obviously, I'm really pumped to do Elnora again because I had fun doing the Futurity.
It'll be good. Gonna be a good summer.
Cool.
Gonna be a good summer. Then I got to go back to Verdun later in the summer. I was like,
who do you work with there?
Checking out
Ward
Doug.
Cutler.
No, Doug.
Oh, Doug. Nice.
Doug. Yeah. So gonna hang out with Doug there, and then I don't know.
Swimming.
go back to Abbotsford and Saskatoon and all the places. And
Saskatchewan, eh?
Olds and I don't even know where else.
Between like with the work that we got going on, and all the fun things that are gonna happen this summer, I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
Gonna be a good summer.
Like
Lots of golf in.
When we float the boat dressed as pirates,
That'll be also be
the
good.
great conquest.
Hey, we've got some new Posy stuff coming out too. Hey,
Oh.
it may or may not be out by the time you listen to this podcast, or we might be.
Stay tuned.
We might
some
be
big
breaking the news.
Some big TPF announcements.
We got some
coming
new
soon.
stuff, some new hats, some new shirts.
Mm-hmm.
Get on over to
They're
thaiposabon.com.
spicy. They're
Check it out.
spicy shirts.
Get those orders in. That's what
Spicy
Wacey
hat.
does during the week. Ships Thai stuff. It's one of his many talents. Shipping parcels.
Taping boxes.
I was at Frontier today, and they have stickers, so you don't have to cut the stuff and put them in a thing and just slap it on. Bam, sticker. Instead of cutting out the thing and folding it.
Oh, you print it on the
printing
sticker.
it. You print it on the sticker, and then bam, right on the box.
How do we get in on that? Actually,
I don't know, but we should look into
We
this.
should talk to our boss
our associates at Canada Post.
and our boss at TPF. Do we need a special printer, or is this a normal printer?
I don't know. We've really gone off on a rat hole here, so
You started that.
we're gonna but new stuff. ThaiPosabon.com. Thanks again, Scott Hardy, for having us in his shop, having us on the show today. Remember to check him out at ScottHardy.com.
And on Instagram, Scott Hardy Silversmith. Yeah.
That's the one. Yeah. And we've posted numerous videos, so you'll be able to find them and be on the website. Everything, all this jazz. Thanks for listening once again. This has been Cowboy Shit with Ted and Wacey. This has been episode 39 as well, the Doug Waite episode. Who else is 39? I only know Doug Waite from my Oilers days.
My
Back when I was
brother.
a kid.
Born 39 when he played junior.
Braden Anderson. Nice.
That's the only other 39 I know.
Okay. Thanks for listening.
Hate the Oilers.
There's a goalie that's 39 this recently, isn't there? I don't know. Okay. Good talk. Thanks.
I don't know, man.
This was episode 39 of Cowboy Shit with Ted and Wacey, brought to you by Everything Cowboy.